really excited for this next speaker. Her name is Giana. She is a professional dancer. Actually, let me put up her screen real quick. Let me share. She is a professional dancer. She has her own studio, yoga teacher, and she's going to be talking about wisdom from the dance floor. So I am so honored to have you talk about your experience and how you've been able to break through. So I'm so excited for you to come on next, and here we go.
Good morning, my beautiful, purposeful, profitable passionistas. I cannot describe how honored I am to be in front of you this morning, kicking off this incredible virtual summit. I've performed in front of thousands of people on international stages, and I'm incredibly nervous as this first speaker in this incredible lineup of sheroes. My name is Giana Montoya, and I'm a professional dancer, choreographer, yoga teacher, and entrepreneur. At 35, I own 3 businesses here in Fort Myers, Florida. That's where I'm at. A yoga studio, the Shiva Yoga Shala, a dance company, Elegant Roomba, and an event center, Elegant Studios Event Center. I was born in Arizona, and I've lived all over Asia in my early years. I went to high school in Sacramento and went to Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, where I was a theater and dance double major. I did professional dance work and acting training in Los Angeles. Oh wait, is there somebody in the background? Okay. How about we unmute everybody again? Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I did professional dance work and acting training in Los Angeles and San Francisco. And there at a dance convention in San Francisco 10 years ago, I met a dancer who I followed here. And that's why I ended up in Fort Myers. So my road to being an artist and performer was not easy, as is anything that is worth it. I grew up with a severely destructive and cruel mentally ill mother. I grew up in the court system, and as a result of her abuse, I had a permanent restraining order from her until she took her own life about 7 years ago. As a result of the abuse, I battled lifelong depression and have had a string of both emotionally and physically abusive dance partners. My dad always says that the biggest breakdowns create the biggest breakthroughs. Today, I vulnerably share this story for the first time publicly because it is the context and backdrop for the deep healing that allowed to allow the speech to emerge. And today, that's where we begin. On the day of my biggest breakdown a little over a year ago, on April 7th, 2019, I physically embodied being broken down. I was crumpled on the ground, on the hot pavement, outside in the alleyway behind my dance studio. I was in the first moments of what would be the death of myself as I knew it. Just 60 seconds before, I had stumbled on text messages, which uncovered my boyfriend of 10 years' one of many affairs. And he wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my dance partner, my life partner, my business partner, literally my everything. He was in the middle of teaching a dance lesson, and I was waiting for my student to arrive. When I went to innocently flip through his phone, which was on the table to look at pictures of our dogs, his WhatsApp was never closed. So I swiped to close the app, not thinking anything insidious. And instead of closing, it scrolled and scrolled. And in those scrolls, I realized I had lost everything. And my entire life for the last decade was a lie. I asked to see him in the back room with my voice cracking, and he came with the full understanding that his act was up, that I knew. I collapsed screaming, and before I hit the ground, he ushered me outside away from the students' ears. Sounds came out of me that sounded more animal than human. In The Princess Bride, Inigo Montoya calls the sound of ultimate suffering. And in the midst of all of that pain, on that hot pavement, without any remorse, he stood above me and looked down, eyes cold as ice, and said, "Can you imagine living 10 years with someone like you? I have to teach my private now." Those words, and all the wind was knocked out of me. The cruelty. And just like that, he walked away from me on the ground. He walked away from 10 years of what I thought was a partnership of love, trust, blessings, travel, worldwide notoriety. I was left with nothing, financially or otherwise. I didn't know this person behind the mask. How could I have been so blind? How can I ever trust any decision that I ever make again? How did I let this happen? How am I ever going to dance again? How am I going to run this business by myself? And mixed in with all of those answers were the seeds of doubt that he had carefully planted throughout those 10 years, deep in my psyche, designed to keep me in the dark. So here we are now. I'm back in the land of the living and fully alive, fully awake, eyes wide open. Although I know you can imagine that the journey hasn't been easy to get here. I've had to be relentless to continue forward with so many obstacles in my path. While the road to living my dreams has been painful so many times, I have been sure of one thing my whole life, and it has guided every step that I've taken. Simply, I love to dance, and I'm good at it, and I'm a great teacher. And having that clarity has guided my way through the darkness, so I can sit here in front of you today and share some wisdom and lessons that I've learned from the dance floor. This morning, I lovingly share these 5 key lessons with you. Slide. Lesson 1, tap into your passions and follow them. Well, on one hand, I had the mother that I did. I, on the other hand, had the most wonderful father who encouraged me to pursue my passions and develop my talents and gifts. When we love what we do, and we all know this, it's never a job. Learn what is your heart's purest desire. In yoga, it's called the sankalpa. What lights you up? What makes you sit forward in your chair to learn about? What do you love? What are you drawn to? What makes you smile? What makes you feel peaceful? All of those things are clues to what you are passionate about and what you should explore further. I am passionate about creating, about movement, about yoga and spirituality, about animals, about sexuality, about teaching and cultivating talent, especially young talent, and respect for the art form. I'm so grateful and I followed my passions because I have brought together all of those aspects in my life now to live the life of my dreams. And right now, I couldn't feel more grateful to be with you. Slide. Lesson 2, be strong in who you are. Be so grounded in who you are that nothing can topple you. Not the failure of a business, not COVID, not the loss of a relationship, not anything. Anytime we share our talents with the world, to some, it appears as an invitation for others to step in, manipulate, and take advantage. And it's natural to seek validation from others. We want that like, or there's hearts on our posts. But in that process, often we lose ourselves. We doubt ourselves. We change who we are for others. We become smaller. We become codependent, right? And we become lost. For myself, I was always chasing the good dancer or the good dance, so much that I confused the good dancer for the good person. Those two are most often not the same. I wish someone had told me this before, because now I'm currently spending precious years doing the deep healing work necessary after my end to the traumatic 10-year relationship and dance partnership to that malignant narcissist. So now I'm regrounding myself, re-educating and re-strengthening myself in every way. Be strong in who you are, no matter what, no matter who you love, no matter how hot they are, no matter what, period. Slide. Your best partner is yourself. Slide. So I'm a partner dancer. I specialize in salsa and the Latin partner dances. I can't throw myself in the air or twirl myself 20 times. So I define my life by my dance partners. And that has been the only way that I can fully express myself. So I stayed in unhealthy relationships too long as a result and put up with so many things I should have never allowed. I betrayed myself in small ways and unconsciously gave my ex permission to betray me in the ultimate ways. So then in an instant, I became a professional dancer who wasn't dancing in the way that I'm used to. I'm not performing on world stages. I'm not traveling pre-COVID. I'm not judging major competitions. So needless to say, I got pretty down. But deep down inside, I knew I had to be ready when the timing was right and a new partner would make an appearance in my life. So I began gymnastics as a way to stay in shape and to stay courageous with my movement. My amazing gymnastics coach is Shannon, the owner of Gymnastics World. I told her about my situation and my goals. And so she asked a bunch of questions to get to know my level and skills. So she asked, like, have you ever done an aerial? And I was like, yeah, assisted with a partner. Have you ever done a one-handed cartwheel? Yes, with a partner. Have you ever done a backflip? Yes, with a partner. Okay, so everything that she asked, I said, yes, with a partner. And after all of that, I think she got fed up and she goes, you know what? Your legs are your new partner. Whoa. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I am my own partner now. I am strong on my own. I stand on my own 2 feet. I got me. So I'm being adaptable and I'm loving this time I have to really cultivate myself and to become creative and redefine what being a dancer means to me, to develop my skills in a short time so I can choreograph a solo I'm proud of or anything else that I want to do. Nothing can hold me back. I never thought my path would lead me here, but it feels like I'm coming back home to myself. And I've never enjoyed dancing so much with the best partner that I've ever had, myself. Slide. Lesson 4, seek out the best teachers who care about you as a person and cultivate the artist within you. I have been so blessed that the universe has put the best healers, therapists, and teachers in my path to help me on my journey. My best teacher has always been my father. Slide. He is the most brilliant business mind, a published author, a yoga teacher, a motivational speaker. I don't know how lucky I have been to get to know from him, to get to learn from him my entire life. And I honestly don't think I could have gotten through the last year without him teaching me and guiding me back towards my independence and back to myself. Because I've had the best teachers and mentors, it's my responsibility to give back. So today, if you don't have that person in your life right now, you don't have to look far. I'm here if you need me. Slide. Make sure we talk sometime today or DM on Instagram at Shiva Latina. You see that on the slide. I'd love to learn about you, your goals and your dreams, and help guide you in any way that I can. Slide. Lesson 5, last one. Take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. I wouldn't have been able to overcome the challenges that I have faced during this time if it wasn't for me making my mental health a priority, like a second job. I practice yoga every day. I meditate. I'm vegan. I spend time outdoors with my 7 rescue animals, and I connect to nature every day. I challenge my body and I restore myself. I love my bath bombs and Schitt's Creek, and it's okay to unplug sometimes. Strengthen yourself holistically in every way. Be well-rounded, have courage, and be kind. And it's also so important, ladies, to take care of yourself financially. Even though I'd worked my feet to the bone for the previous decade as a professional dancer, I had nothing to show for it on paper or in a bank account. My ex insisted that half of all my paychecks went to him for all the dance classes, and all the gigs were in his name. Blindly trusting, I complied. But the next steps of having to find a home that would house my 7 rescue animals with no paper trail was incredibly difficult. My little sister became my angel co-signer. But had I been any less lucky, my story could have gone a much more tragic way. So learn from me. No matter how in love you think you are, you never know somebody fully. So be smart, be active in your finances, and take care of your interests and love yourself first. Slide. And there's my babies. And that's all of us. Yes, I have Charlotte the pig. And that's us outside of my house. Slide. So in summary, I hope that I leave you with these lessons from the dance floor. Follow your passions, be strong in who you are. Your best partner is yourself. Seek out the best teachers to help guide you and to take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul, and financially. If anything that I said resonated with you, please talk to me. And as a gift for the participants here, if you print out your proof of registration for this summit and bring it to any of my studios, it will serve as a free first dance or yoga class. I look forward to continuing the conversation and seeing what beautiful art you will create and witnessing the impact you will make on the world. Namaste. Slide. And there's all my information, guys. Thank you. All right, let me see if I can get back to.
Well, thank you. Oh,
there we go.
Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Giana, for sharing your story. I would love for you to just go a little bit in depth of like, what was the actual steps that you actually took for you to get you out of where you were, like mentally or emotionally? Like, what was the actual steps that you actually took? Did you know what I mean? Go a little bit in depth of like what they can actually apply. What can the audience apply to themselves right now? What tips can you share with them?
I went to a Celine Dion concert with my best friend. That certainly helps. No, yeah, I mean, it was really those things. I mean, it was literally at my rock bottom. I did not know how to get up every morning. Every day was very, very dark. You know how some people are like day by day. For me, it literally felt like minute to minute. So it was a combination of a lot of things. For me, I'm a very kinetic person as a dancer. So if I'm doing something physically, it helps strengthen me all the way around. So getting into gymnastics really helped, because when you're flipping in the air and you're doing something that you never thought you could do by yourself, it certainly is your self-esteem. And I definitely, or dancing in a way, and I definitely needed that boost. I needed evidence to the contrary of what he had told me for the last 10 years.
I am so proud of you, girlfriend. That is amazing. It's what an inspirational story of like how you're able to go from that into where you are right now. I absolutely love, if you guys ever go to her dance studio, she has these like sexy heels class. I've always wanted to go. So you got to share like what kind of tell them a little bit about your classes that you actually have.
Yes, and I'm so inspired by women. Actually, women help me through this. My friends helped me through this. If any of you have been with a narcissist, you know that they create kind of a bubble for you to live in. And I didn't even know that I was in that bubble and that I was so isolated. And I really didn't have any close friendships. All of the friendships were his friendships. And they were all in on it. And it was just terrible. So I had nothing. And so I was able to finally reach out to like women that were right there at arm's reach, that I never fully embraced. And it was those women that embraced me back and helped me so much. So Elisa's here. She's one of my students that now has become one of my very dearest friends. And oh girl, I'm so sorry, Amy. Girl, I know it's really tough. So the women friendships helped me back. I always teach burlesque. I teach a once a month burlesque class. And that burlesque class that I taught on June 29th, which was a couple months after the breakdown, it literally put me back on my path of being with women, of feeling sexy again, of feeling empowered again. And so I'm really passionate about women's empowerment through dance. So I teach a burlesque class once a month, and then I also teach a weekly sexy heels class on Wednesdays at 8. And I would love for you guys to all take it. And it's so much fun. Oh, thank you, Clary. And yes, and I was able to first share my testimony and my story with Lead Like a Girl. And so if you were ever there at that seminar, I ramped up because I wanted to rewrite the speech for a more mature audience. And also, there's been things that have happened since then. So, yes.
Thank you so much, Giana. I would love, if anyone has any, wants to share, we're open for about another like 10 minutes. We can be able to share maybe 1 to 2, any takeaways that you got from Giana's speech.
I just want to, go ahead. No, I was just going to say thank you so much for sharing your testimony, because it really resonates and lets me know that I'm not the one who had that suffered to such a type of relationship, and you are encouragement knowing that it can be greater and better than like with support and reaching out and surrounding myself with the proper with better people, you know. So I'm kind of getting out of a situation.
Girl, and I know, especially if you're in a narcissistic abuse situation, that's been actually one of the things that I've, even on my Instagram, if you go, narcissist abuse awareness is at the top.
I'm gonna
I'm
follow
very,
you.
yes, follow me. I'm very passionate about it because you are put in an alternate universe where you don't think that it can ever get better and that this is the best it's ever going to get. And it's not the truth. Your life is going to be so much better. You just have to separate yourself, go no contact. They, in the narcissist abuse community, they call it gray rocking. You know, you go gray rock. And like, honestly, where I'm at and where he's at, girl,
Sorry.
it's okay. It's a totally different thing. And I was like, oh no, you know, he's always gonna come out on top and I'm gonna have nothing. I'm gonna be left with nothing. And the reality is quite the opposite. And I can see it now. It took me a year, but I can see it now.
Can I just say, okay, if I start talking about narcissistic abuse, you'll have to kick me off the call because it'll be like 5 hours later, and you'll mute me, Sophia. But I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. The one thing I'm super passionate about it too, and help moderate a group of narcissistic abuse survivors. But even those of you on here who maybe haven't been in a relationship like that, I think, Giana, you touched on something so important and something I'm passionate about in my business is helping women have their own income, right? Even if you're happily married and you think nothing will ever, happen, or you just never know. And, I also run a support group for women who, thought they were also, gave up their careers. And, we do that a lot. We raise the kids and we give so much, but you really want to have your own thing. And I think it gives women a sense of self-worth and all of that. And that's what this conference is all about, right? This summit is all about. So I cheer you on. And I think, all of us need to have that no matter what our personal situation.
Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing. Is there anyone else to have one more? We have one more time for one more person to share something.
This is Ashley. I just wanted to thank her for her transparency, because we see the glitz and the glam all the time in people's social media, but we don't always say like the valleys that we face, the low moments. So I really appreciated that, and to be transparent and showing your brokenness, and you're saying, but I still came out once. So it's very encouraging and very inspirational. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing. Giana, thank you so much for sharing your heart and being so transparent with everyone. Again, I would love for you to share one more time where they can reach you and also about the free gift that you have to offer. Are you still there? Oh, there she goes. She's coming back.
Oh, I would like to share something about Giana.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm one of Giana's students, and I just want to say that not only does she help with dance and yoga and in areas of other areas apart from, but as a person yourself, she really helps you think about who you are and where you want to go, and really empowers you. And I just wanted to let you all know that, and that she's been gone through a lot, and this is like a really amazing place. And I'm glad to have met everyone here, because I work in a world where it's male dominated, and to see you create this space for women is very nice. And I like to have something like this versus something that I don't feel like maybe my voice is heard, because I'm the smaller voice in the group, because I'm a woman in this group where it's mainly male dominated where I work. So thank you so much for creating this and starting this. And I have Giana to thank for also.
Oh, you guys, I apologize. My computer just completely booted me off Zoom, so I'm on my phone now. So Amy, it kind of, I got booted off when you were talking. So can you just summarize real quick what you just said?
What I said, yeah, I was just praising you, and I said I can't start talking about the narcissistic abuse. You and I have to take it offline because it will. I could go on. We're a special tribe and club that we never want us to be a part of. But anyway, there's more power together. But I was saying that, like in my business, I have an Arbonne business. I'm a national vice president with a company where I help women build their own stream of income. And I think no matter what, what situation someone's in, whether they're happily married or whatever, they should always have their own thing because you never know what could happen. And,
Yes.
It gives you self-worth, it gives you stability, peace, all those things and all the great things we can do with, I don't think wealth is a bad thing. You can help and donate to elections you care about and help people who are less fortunate by building, an empire for yourself that can help change the world. So I'm just obviously super passionate about that. And I love that you touched on that.
Thank you. No, definitely. I mean, and honestly, the sad thing is I don't know if I would have fought so hard for what I have if it was just myself. I think I would have just been like, at that point, I would have just been comfortable like living on my dad's couch, but I have animals. I have, you saw my pig, my 3 dogs. I have 2 giant 130-pound tortoises. And yeah, so I have these big animals and they need a big space. And, they were like my guardian angels. They guided me towards the life I was meant to live. So thank you, Amy. We're going to connect for sure.
I just want to say one thing, Giana. I loved your story. You're courageous. You're so courageous and so beautiful. And I love that you shared what helped bring you out. It was creating joy. What you did. I love that you said go to a concert, do something you enjoy, try something new. We get stuck, especially when we're in our down periods in our lives, we get stuck there and we have to be pulled out, or we have to get that strength to do something new, or we can get stuck. And I'm so glad that you shared those things that you did. They may seem like, like, is that really true? But when you do something that you enjoy, when you go out there and you try something new, it gives you new strength, new being. And so I want to just thank you for that, and doing something, making you feel sexy again,
Girl.
When you feel those things. Thank you.
Putting on some pumps and putting on some red lipstick and going out there with your girlfriends. And so, maybe my space and what I offer is going to be that thing for you. So I hope that you guys know that you have a place to come. If you want to go outside of your box, go outside of your comfort zone, try something new, get a good stretch on. And I'd love to see you guys and support you in any way that I can. That's what this community is for.
Well,
Thank you, Eva.
So much. Thank you so much, Giana. I absolutely loved your talk. Definitely, I want you to share one more time where they can follow you and also what is the free gift for them.
Okay, yeah. So let's start with the free gift. Why not? So if you just print out your registration, whatever your little receipt for this summit is, you can bring it to my yoga studio, which is the Shiva Yoga Shala. Elisa's putting in the address. And the great thing is my yoga studio and my dance studio are in the same plaza, 2 doors down from each other. So you go to one, you go to both, basically. So you could come to any yoga class or you could come to any dance class. And so it'll be your first class free. And then, and then where I'm at, so the Shiva Yoga Shala is 1901 Brantley Road. It's Unit 3 in Fort Myers. And then the dance studio is just 2 doors from that, down from that, 1901 Brantley Road. So we're basically on College and 41, and more specifically, Brantley and Crystal. So
I'd love to see you guys.
Oh, thank you, God. Thank you so much, Giana. All right, guys, we're gonna get ready for our next speaker. Let me pin you. We're gonna get ready for our next speaker. Let me put myself first. We're gonna get ready for our next speaker. So I would love for you guys to take a selfie real quick, and I want you guys to tag me in your selfie. I want you guys all to follow me at Elevate Your Passion on IG. Take a selfie or take a picture of the screen and tag me in your post so that everyone can know that you guys are at the Purpose Passion Virtual Summit. All right, so I want to see some selfies. I want to get some tags real quick.